Capricorn, I'm hearing the song Message in the Bottle. I think it was Sting. That song might be relative to you in some form here. This is for the Capricorn collective. This is the Arcana Veil. Let's have a look what the Oracle has to say. These readings are timeless. Lily, I never take a reverse Oracle, just so that you know that's the rule. We have action or rising, act on that which is rising, that growth of something deeper within the nature of the person's space. The luminal space is what I'm hearing, the motions of the oceans, emotions, and the scythe, preparing for harvest, getting ready to receive what you have to receive, preparing for that which has to come to you. Overall, I'm seeing here for you, Capricorn, you're going through a process where you're actually evaluating that which is of precious importance. I'm also seeing that there's definitely a growth taking place, and with the growth there comes a lot of gathering of energy that is rising up within you. So you've been going through a lot of frequencies that have been very not really earthbound, earthy, unlike your sign, unlike being the Capricorn, is very earthy and very deterministic and going through the material realm with a particular purpose and structure. This is a little beyond the structure that you are used to. So I'm seeing that you're coming to that point where you're actually ready to focus on that which comes to you. You're noticing that is growing within you. Let's have a look and see what the tarot has to say. We have the Ten of Cups here, the lily, that which is coming up from within. You're experiencing the inner sense of joy. We have the Four of Swords. It is when one is in rest that wisdom rises up within the self here, very much clear and self-explanatory. The emotions of emotional issues and things, the Tower being disconnecting you from that old perspective beliefs, where you are actually encountering, wherever the Tower is, it is something that happens for you and not to you. It means it's happening for you to be able to understand where the nature of the energy comes through. What was it that perhaps made you feel like your motion, your movement was perhaps stifled or inhibited in some way? We have Sorcerer or the Magician, and we have the Nine of Cups under the scythe. These are here. You are finding that you have the internal structure, consciousness within your own personal ability to be able to set things in place. In other words, you're walking away from things that don't seem to bring you that sense of feeling like you had before. The Tower is in the heart of the matter here, where you are understanding that emotional energy is very charged, that brings up a lot of things that you are looking at, that you've always wanted, that you have always had with you. It was always with you. It was never really gone. That emotional happiness, fulfillment. Let's have a look and see what the underworld has to say. This is a new deck. It's called Terra Volatile or Volatile, however you want to say it. It is an alchemical deck. It's very much going to be the deck for the underworld for now. We have the Two of Swords here under the Ten of Cups. Definitely needing to find out when it's in the underworld and it's in the subconscious, these are things that are perhaps based on shadow aspects that you would have to work on to actually see. Are you really feeling, you're feeling the happiness, you're feeling that that is what you've got within you, but you're still feeling sort of torn between, is it actually really there or not? This is just normal to go through the process. And when I say normal, there is no real normal. Let me say that. What I'm saying is there's really more sort of an understanding of what is valued as being of more worth within the consciousness. We have the Queen of Wands here. There's a lot of nudity in this deck. I'm taking a chance here. Don't think the channel is too small to really flag it, but the Queen of Wands here under the Four of Swords, that is an energy that has to come up to the surface for you to be able to process air here so that it can actually rise to the surface. So you're definitely going through a process where you are elevating your deeper nature of your heart consciousness. That is the lily growing up, and out of that you are mining up that fire of the Queen of Wands to assist you in being able to oversee, to look, to meditate, to focus on, to realize what is the path going forward. Even if it means just to be in the mindful space of how you are feeling deeper within yourself. You are at peace with those feelings. Here's the Four of Swords again under the Tower, which suggests that this is the nexus point of rest period, of going within, that it is required for you to go within to be able to find out the deeper nature of what it is that you are investigating of yourself. I'd say you're doing a deep dive to your inner heart space, your inner psyche, your spirit is telling you that your soul is experiencing a change within the nature of your experience of what it is that you're encountering in your path going forward. We have the Sun here under the Sorcerer, where you are understanding that you actually have the power within to be able to do exactly what it is that you wish to experience. You have the knowledge to fulfill yourself, your spiritual journey. You know that the magician is able to create everything and anything out of nothing, and in that way, knowing that if you wish to have a path going forward, you would have to build a new way of building, perhaps a new business. You are seeking new ways to establish that. And somewhere along the line, you're being shown that while the sun is here at the bottom in the subconscious, you know that it's lighting up that which is for you to observe. You could look at it almost as if you're looking at a negative of a film, where the light underneath the negative is showing up the image to look at, which is the middle world or the center point of your consciousness. We have the Tower here. So you have two nexus points that are crisscrossing. An X marks the spot as it is. You know that there's going to be a breakaway of an experience that you've had, of something that may have caused you disappointment. We also know that within the heart of this particular aspect here, while there are two towers on both ends and Four of Swords on this end, you're being shown that the more you go within yourself, the more you're able to understand that the initiation of new growth requires a dying off or an ending off of things that don't contribute to that anymore. We have the harvest here, the gathering, the scythe to gather the harvest is right above the magician or the sorcerer. And the sorcerer in itself why I chose to use that name for the magician is because the sorcerer is someone who works with source and being able to establish what you require. Your immediate communication with source is very present here. You have the sun right underneath that, indicating that you are guided while you are venturing through, breaking away certain things. I'd say it's almost as if you're chipping away things that don't belong to you anymore. And by doing that, you have to look at what you've got in order to see what is not part of you anymore, or was never perhaps part of you to begin with. A lot of rest is required for this inner journey. It is by its nature indicative that it is how it works. Let's have a look for the outcome for you. We have the Seven of Cups here, which is the letting go of the things, very similar to deciding what works within the cosmic part of your consciousness, deciding which way to go, which pathway to take. If you're experiencing some sort of, like, just have a look and see what particular aspect with regards to this cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups. Okay, so that in itself definitely indicates that there is a choice in having to make how you should choose what comes to you in your spiritual nature, your direction in which you follow. You make a choice and you follow through with that choice. There's a lot of noise in the background that's basically kind of confirming this. Your ancestors are perhaps telling you that you are on the right track with where you're going and how you're going towards this endeavor. You are definitely breaking away from things that perhaps did not have its purpose anymore. Hence the tower in two different places in the consciousness here. It may feel very much like you know that you are going to prepare yourself to gather what it is that you have harvested and using that to propel you forward. The fact that you have so many activities and people around you shows that you are actually still able to resolve this, so it's not like you are completely isolated either. You are ending off things that don't serve, and by that way it takes a lot of effort to be able to do that for you. Capricorn, this was your reading. This was the Arcana Veil. Until next time.